Hey, GLP-1 plus size community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better. And my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way, and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper. With results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster. Confidence higher. Price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Hey, how's everybody doing? It's an interesting night.
Yeah, everything hurts.
Technology.
That too.
Oh, Kat, you look rough. You look rough.
Everything hurts.
I mean, you look gorgeous. Your hair looks bad.
Oh, yeah,
I know.
I straightened it.
Well,
I straightened it. I hardly ever straighten my hair because it's a pain in the butt to maintain.
Yeah.
So it'll be straight for a week until I wash it again, and then whatever.
Yeah.
Look,
Back to the curl
hey, but that's what you do when you house music all night long. Yeah,
house music all day long.
Day long, right? You can do night stuff during the day.
Yeah, was it? We do stuff at noon, and I definitely did that all day. We were there from
11 stuff at
a.m.
noon.
to 7 p.m.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sipping on some sangria, slow sangria all day, and this bad boy got me all the way through too. This was not filled with alcohol. This was filled with water all day long.
Nice.
Water.
Oh, speaking of, hey y'all.
Hey.
So for our listening audience, we're
Podcast
all
10.
holding up ginormous Stanleys, and they're all 10 milligram. They look just like the Mounjaro pen. So we're going to be doing our water checks.
You have the back.
And thank you for this amazing opportunity to work with one of our new sponsors, where I will put the link in this so that you can go and get $10 off if you want to get a Stanley mug. And part of that goes towards supporting the plus sides. So you can help with the podcast and then get a great mug. And it'll be great. $10 off. It's awesome. They're really cute. I knew they were cute, but these are great.
These are heavy.
Oh.
They are heavy. But listen, it's super good quality. I'm so excited about it.
And they really do keep your beverages cold.
Ice and everything.
It's a Stanley.
House in the park in my hot tent all day. I used to with water all day, but the ice stayed in it all day.
That's great. It's awesome.
In between my sips of the
what's your mug? Oh, it's
flying
a shot.
Flying from Europe. This little baby, all I did was ask the flight crew, the flight attendants, can you just bring me like 4 cups of ice?
Yeah. That's all you need. Awesome. Well, listen, this is well into season 2 at this point, guys. So I don't think we have to go crazy with, intro. So we'll keep it pithy because we got guests tonight, So we're going to talk with some friends about GLP-1 medications, about weight loss surgery, about, loose skin and removal and plastic surgery and all those different things. I don't even know if we call it that anymore. Is it cosmetic surgery? I don't even know. That's how old I am. And the last time I considered it. So, it's like, what do we? I don't know. We're going to learn together. But if you don't know me, I'm Kim. This podcast was born out of a TikTok community. We are all taking a GLP-1 medication for different reasons. And we are on this episode and all the episodes discussing the plus sides, because it's not just about weight loss. It's about health and all the different things that come with it, mental, physical, all the things, and getting your life back. So that's what we talk about on the show. We like to educate and learn. And we also have members of our community come on and share their testimonials of what they've done throughout their life with this, the things they've struggled with, and basically their triumphs, and where they are now that they're on the other side or in the middle or whatever it may be of healing. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to pass it off to our other 2 hosts in case you don't know them. Let them check in real quick. The Hey Cat, Everything Hurts Carter. I love it. Tell us about you. We can't hear you at all.
Oh, what?
What happened? You were totally off.
So my headset has a little mute button I prefer to use versus on the screen. So anyway.
Is that when you fuss at customers?
Yeah.
Back in the day, Kat and I used to work together, and that's about how it went. Go ahead, you go. I'm going to plug in my mic too. So.
Okay, plug it in. No, I did House in the Park this weekend, Atlanta. The same promoters also do a Prince party every Thursday before, the Thursday before Labor Day weekend. So I decided to hang out and dance all night Thursday night, try to recover Friday, be a hero on Saturday, and work all day, and then Sunday House in the Park all day in the heat dancing, and then did it. Then I whipped up a cake yesterday. So I'm tired. I'm about so really quickly, I do we call it butt stuff with Kat on TikTok, but I am actually starting to work with a trainer tomorrow, and I'm very nervous, especially since I wore out my entire body this weekend dancing and being thinking that I'm still 25. I'm nervous about this tomorrow, but if I pump up the ibuprofen and stay hydrated and use my massager, maybe I'll survive tomorrow. Pray for me.
You're doing pretty good today, though. Can you hear me okay? I just plugged in my mic. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We've had technical difficulties. Can't you haven't been able to tell? And I'm just not going, oh, I don't have a mic. So anyway, that was scrappy like the old days before mics. Yeah. Anyway, great. Thanks for letting us know how you are, Kat.
I know. I'm great. Everything hurts.
Everything hurts.
Oh, I also take Mounjaro. That's the focus.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
The Mounjaro.
I cannot kick it. I cannot kick that habit.
The Mounjaro.
It's Mounjaro. Think of the doggone mountain, but I can't.
Yeah.
Mountain. I'm still in
Mounjaro. Anyway, hey JT, also known
Hey,
as
hey.
Janine, also known as the flight attendant, the Mounjaro flight attendant. Hey, what you
Yes,
doing? Why are you
hey.
here? What's up?
Nothing much. I just got back from Europe. Yeah, might be a little jet lagged. Of course, I've got electrolytes and water, and I'm double fisting today with Baby Yoda, and I've got Profi
Ooh.
and water and electrolytes. So I figured that I can't
Hey,
lose.
no,
I can't
it's
lose.
impossible.
All my
It's
Yeah,
coffee
impossible
is
to
yeah,
on.
lose.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I am on the same GLP-1 medication that you ladies are on. I
Mhm.
am a woman with type 2 diabetes,
Mhm.
and
With
I am a woman with Sjogren's syndrome. And I'm healing from the inside out. Voila. There you go.
I love it. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, this is a crazy day. Whatever. So glad to have you. Yay, yay.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're going to talk about some cool stuff today. So we're excited that you're here to join us on our journeys of helping other people connect and realize that there's help out there now, and hopefully go to their doctors, and also working together and healing as a community, because the community is very tight over on the TikTok GLP-1 Mounjaro, and we're going through a lot of the mental stuff that comes with all of this adjustment to these new bodies, and so. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our community guest. Hey, Susan.
Hi.
Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Susan. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm so
Yes,
excited.
I'm so excited too. I hope you're feeling well. I'm so glad that we put this about a month ago, right? And
Yeah.
then you had plans. What plans did just happen that would have stopped this?
Mhm.
Well, so after 97 pounds of weight loss, I had a tummy tuck and a breast lift.
Oh,
Also known as a mommy makeover.
that's okay.
But I don't call it a mommy makeover because I'm not a mommy. I'm a dog mommy, but
Yeah, you're a dog mom.
Me too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
that's a
was.
mom.
Yes.
You
I
you
just
will
didn't
be
give
again,
birth,
Kat.
I didn't give birth to her, but I wish I had. I wish I could claim her. But so it's been 3 weeks since I had that. So it's been
Oh my
exciting.
gosh.
Wow.
Yes. Well, that's for sure, like where you are, I think, in your journey now. And we definitely want to hear about that. But we would
Mhm.
love for you to kind of tell us how you got here. What's it been like in
Okay.
your life? And because I promise you, every single time we have one of these episodes, I get a message from somebody that says, "It sounds like me. I'm going to go see my doctor." So just and I will send it to you when it happens. I do it every time. So tell us your story. Can't wait to hear.
So going back to when I remember at probably 7 or 8 being really subconscious about my body and my weight, and it being something that was really important in my household. My mom was a dieter my whole life. So I grew up in diet culture. And then at 16, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I became aware of like genetic factors, about me, and that my heart disease and stroke runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family. And so I kind of had that plaguing me my whole life. I struggled with my weight in college and dieted, did everything. I've done everything you can imagine. Thin, um, doctors that I shouldn't have been going to, prescribing me things that I shouldn't have been taking, especially with my high blood pressure. Weight Watchers, LA Weight Loss, Nutrisystem, you name it, I've done it. I had weight loss surgery in 2015. I was pre-diabetic. I was very worried about my health and the complications and my genetics. And so I had weight loss surgery. So I had the gastric sleeve in 2015. It was really successful for me. And I lost a lot of weight. I think I lost like about 80 pounds. And that was great. And then life happened. And I met my husband and I moved, and it just totally changed everything. I started getting out of some of those habits that I had built. And I gained about 40 pounds back. And fast forward to August of 2020, I was really struggling. I had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes officially. And that was a big wake up call for me. And I was gaining weight. I was unhappy. I was depressed. I scrolled at TikTok. I found a TikTok talking about telehealth providers and GLP-1 medication. And I started listening, and I found Join Sequence. I joined them, and I was struggling with my doctor. Then I had been struggling with him for 2 years since my diagnosis. He would just hand me a piece of paper that talked about my BMI as I was leaving. And he would tell me to diet and exercise, but he never asked me what I was doing. He never took the time. He assumed that I didn't. And I was doing everything. I was exercising. I was doing everything to lose the weight, and I just couldn't. And so that's why I turned to a telehealth provider, and it's been a great experience. I got prescribed Mounjaro, and that was in August of 2023, and I'm now 65 pounds less. So my A1C is normal. I've gone from an 8.7 A1C to a 5.4, and I am no longer on blood pressure or cholesterol medication. All my labs are normal. I feel amazing. It's absolutely changed my life. Seeing that TikTok that day absolutely changed my life.
Wow. I think I've had a lot of moments like that. Crazily enough, seeing a TikTok that day absolutely changed my life. Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah. And you hear so many bad things about TikTok, and it's like, it saved my life, probably, in my opinion.
Probably. For sure extended it. That's for sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say. I like that.
Yeah.
It's positive.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
I think, if you're open to some questions, is that okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, I don't know if you know much about, or if you've seen any of the episodes, but the first episode I talked about how I had weight loss surgery as well. So I had lap band in 2007, so quite a long time ago. It was still kind of like, I wouldn't say new, but it was definitely a point where insurance was recovering it, and I was very young. And I had gained a ton of weight. Basically, I would say I've always struggled with weight with obesity, and I've always had a binge eating disorder. We can say it here. We can't say it on TikTok. I finally got to see a doctor and get the surgery and figure out what was going on. But I had gained so much weight. I had gained like 100 pounds because they had put me on this medication that caused weight gain for mental health stuff, which actually was really just because I was assaulted. Frankly, I'm just gonna be honest. We're honest here. And I was really just messed up mentally, and that medicine made me gain so much weight. And so then when I finally had surgery, I did lose it, and everything was okay for a while. But then eventually things happened with me too. I had a kid, and then I gained it all back. And even really then some a little bit. And I don't know what that is. Like, what happens in our body, what happens in our brains when these things change and we go through their stressful times or massive changes, that causes that to happen. Like, why, and we talked about on one of the episodes of last season, we talked more about, like, I guess, bariatric stuff in general. So with Dr. Rosen, and, he just said that, like, your mind will always work against you. Like, it'll always tell you to lubricate the system or whatever it is, to find ways around it, to eat very squishy things that are almost like cake and just anything, because your body thinks that you need to do that. And that because of that, it will always make the mind do that. And that's why he was saying it's not your fault, so I don't know if you experienced anything like that, but I for sure did. And if you're open to sharing, I think people who had surgery and had those things happen, like, they might like to hear it.
Yeah. When I had surgery, the thing that I remember from the appointments that you go to and like the groups. I like attended like some group sessions with people that had surgery and people that were wanting to have surgery. And so many people said, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm never hungry. I have to remind myself to eat. That never happened to me. That never happened to me. I remember after my surgery and I was on the liquid diet, and it was, I had mine around the holidays. And, you know, like there's all these TV shows with food and, you know, and all this stuff. And I was just like starving. And so, you know, while it helped me to eat less, through the program that I was in, I learned, you know, I exercised and I was doing all the behaviors I think that were helping. But I still, in my mind, I still had that food noise, and that never went away. And I think that's why I gained the weight back, because even though I wasn't eating a lot, it was what I was choosing to eat. And, you know, I could eat a little bit here and then let that digest and then eat a little bit more and then a little bit more, you know. And so I, like you said, I learned to get around it because there was this in my mind, and it was, and I was comforted by food and, you know, all of those things. I have emotional eating. I have not struggled with binge eating. But I definitely have like a lot of emotional eating, just going back to my childhood. You know, I remember just being comforted by food and like being in my room and watching TV and feeling safe there and having my food. And I go back to that a lot. I still go back to that. So I know that it started really early on for me. But, and that was why, you know, when I started taking Mounjaro and was really excited about the potential to lose weight that I had gained from my surgery, I felt this guilt. Like, you've already had surgery and it didn't work for you.
Me too.
And so here you go again, trying something else. You've tried everything. You always gain the weight back. You know, and so I felt like this guilt, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I think you probably understand what I mean.
I do. Yes, I do. Almost like, how am I going to get to have this other amazing opportunity when like I apparently, like I used to think, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, friend, like, but I used to think I'm so pathetic.
Yes.
Like I can't even believe that I had friggin' surgery. And I have gained all my weight back. And now here I am trying to do something else. I used to think I'm so pathetic that I can't control my food. How sad am I? Which is why I wasn't going to the doctor and why I wasn't asking for help when I was gaining all the weight back. And when I gave up, you know, so I can completely relate to that feeling. And I think probably a lot of our friends that have had surgery can. I really do, from what I've seen, you know, in our community. And it's because it's got to do with the brain. And I agree, like, I don't think I ever didn't have food noise, even with the surgery. I still ate, and I was just like you. Like I would eventually just eat a little bit more, wait 30 minutes, eat a little bit more. And so I was eating constantly, you know, but then eventually I got to the point where I could drink, you know, and because they tell you not to lubricate the system, right? Like no matter what kind of surgery you have. And I was like, oh, like I can eat whatever I want, however I want now, because I can lubricate the system. So you trick it, like, and then you get around that tool. And I for me, like the GLP-1 medications, I could technically, if I really wanted to, get around it, but I don't want to. That's the difference, that I don't want to. It's completely different in the brain, you know, than it was with surgery for me. Yeah. So I totally understand. And like, I think it's interesting too, what you say about, it comes up a lot on the show, Susan, about kids, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, you know, with food, right? Being able to control that food, and that food being the thing they knew what to do, because that's what they could get their hands on for whatever reason. It could have been something really simple, like a divorce, right? I hate to say that's simple, but these days it is, you know, or it could be, I mean, many of things, right? Like not fitting in at school, and you can control your food. And so a lot of children will start out like that and not necessarily become binge eaters, right? But definitely, I think, puts people on a path to not the best food practices, because it's very emotionally driven. The one thing I do think is, and I wonder what you think about it, I'm pretty sure every human I've ever met has emotionally eaten. I think the difference is like, I just don't have a stop button. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like everybody has emotional connections to food. I mean, all of our, we're like all of our holidays and everything are all centered around food and being together and eating. And you have these, warm, like Rosie said, right? Like warm cookies, like that means home, that means nurture. Like you have all these like really important like feelings around those memories, And so I think finding a way to not eat them was a big deal for me, or just eat a little. And like, I was never able to do that. So I can totally relate. And like, I think, I would love to know too. I know you got to the point, like based on your journey, when you're telling me like, you were like, hey, it's time to have surgery. Are you willing to kind of tell us what made you make that decision? And like, I don't know about you, but I hear it all the time. And I've heard it from the beginning, why don't you wait a year and see if you gain it back? Like I've heard that so many times, anytime I've ever talked about doing anything like this before. And I did eventually gain it back. Right. So, but I hear it all the time. And then like, I remember when Michelle was on last season and she was like, well, like, what am I waiting for? Like this is, cause it's like, and I kind of understood that too, like, why would I wait? But then I know some doctors like have things where they're like, you have to have a certain BMI before they'll even do it, or you have to be closer to a goal weight, whatever that equals these days. I don't even know, like, and I'm curious, like what your experience was like with that. Cause we've heard different things and I think people would enjoy your perspective.
Yeah. So I was really thinking about it and really wanting to do it, but I had this fear in my mind that, doctors would turn me away because I haven't lost enough weight or, maybe. And I struggle. I don't have a goal weight. I talk about that. If you follow me on TikTok, I just don't. It's not healthy for me. And so I want to feel good and feel confident. And so I actually go back to TikTok. I was watching Sasha High as a weight loss doctor from Canada, and she has a podcast, High on Life. And
she was just on our show, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. And she has a podcast with a plastic surgeon who does this, and so he talked about his concepts and his thoughts, and that you don't have to have be at your goal. That lots of times it helps people get past a hump that they're on with their weight loss because things are holding you back. And that was really me. It was, I had this excess skin on my stomach that another surgery that I had an ovarian cyst removal, and it created this excess like apron because of my scar. And so it was, to me, very noticeable, and it was holding me back in life overall. And so I said, what have I got to lose after listening to that podcast? And so I started doing some research, and I just started reaching out to doctors, and I had a really good experience with the person that helped me where I ultimately chose to go. And when I talked to my doctor that did my surgery, I asked him, are you concerned about my weight? And he said, why would I be concerned about your weight? Like, and he said, no.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he says, are you concerned about your weight? And I said, because if you are, I am, but if you're not, I'm not. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, really?
That must be cool.
Yeah. And then I even followed up and I said, well, like, should I lose like 10 more pounds before my surgery? Or what do you think? And he's like, I don't care. And he said, if you had like 30 more pounds that you wanted to lose, I would say, let's wait. He said, but you're happy with where you are right now.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe I'd like to lose 10 more pounds. I don't know. He says, I'm happy. And, there was never this discussion about it. Now, he does have BMI parameters, but they're very, to me, even obese, if you're in the obese category for BMI, depending on lots of situations. So I don't want to speak too much to it, but he does have considerations for that. So it's not like just because you're considered obese, you're out of it.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
yeah,
So like if
it
your
was,
numbers are good or if your blood pressure is good, like things like that, that could possibly cause issues or something.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. So I
Yeah.
don't really know, but because
We'll ask Dr. Angelina.
yeah, we'll have to ask Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm just barely out of being considered obese, just barely. You know,
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I totally. First of all, congratulations, though.
Yeah,
It's so
I
great.
know, it's huge. I
Yeah.
was
I love
surprised
it.
when I was officially obese and not morbidly obese. I was like,
yeah.
I don't know what that's like yet,
Yeah, I know.
but I'm
It's
very
coming.
happy.
But
It's
I just would
coming.
encourage everyone, just
Yeah.
you know, like don't be afraid to reach out, because I hear that. I get comments, I get messages all the time saying, I'm so afraid that the doctor's going to turn me down. I'm so afraid. I can't wait to do this when I meet my goal. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. You know, and I would just say, like, you know, it could be the thing that gets you over the hump, that, you know, or maybe is holding you back. And so I'm not going to gain this weight back, you know, and if I do, but you know,
if you do, this is the last time. You were sick. Now you're better. This is the last time.
That's right. And you guys, you were talking about, I can't remember who said it, like healing from the inside out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just, it's your name.
Yeah.
It's just like, absolutely. And this medicine is giving me the ability to do that. I fully believe that, because it's quieting my mind, and it's given me energy, and I know other things have contributed to it, but this hope for the future that I just didn't have before.
Yeah, totally. I can totally relate to that. I feel like I wake up every day excited about my life. Like I share it often on the show. Like no matter if there's bumps in the roads, which that's just life, right? I'm like, it'll be okay. It's gonna be all right, you know? And I think that's really cool. Oh, let's all water check. Susan's the lead.
I know. I'm sorry.
Water check.
I've been talking too much.
You're not talking too much. It's a talk show.
I need the fancy Mounjaro.
I'll send you the link. You get $10 off.
I did see it on Facebook, and I clicked on it and then got distracted, which is the story of my life.
Mine too. I swear that has something to do with it too. We need to have someone to talk about, like, what is that? Like people maybe who like, so I think that there might be some things with like people who are neurodivergent, you know, and eating, like, I think there's gotta be something with that. So I really want like a neurologist, like, and I've got high hopes for all the things for us to learn all the stuff, because I think that's amazing. I think that's also like what can help us learn. I feel like if we're more educated this time, and we are, because there's just so much science to back all of this up, right? Then it makes me feel so more secure that not only if I like changed things like in terms of my habits, right, but also that the biology is being addressed, you know, and that I was sick, and that it's okay that I'm better now, and I'm able to do all of these things which have made all these changes, you know. So I feel like the more we learn, the better the chances are that things are just going to work out great. Because I did say, I think one of the biggest reasons that I've been so successful this time is because of our community, you know, and having someone to talk to, because a lot of obesity is being alone. It really, really is. And thinking that you've done something wrong and that you are failing morally. And I think that having the community to lean on and understand, and I have made many vulnerable videos and had so much support, you know, and advice and direction, all those other things. And I've said since that happened, like, this is the last time. These are the pieces, right? The biology, the behavior changes, and the community, you know, it's been a big deal. Have you had that experience as well?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, the community, and even just seeing other people that are sharing their weight, something so simple as people sharing their weight has been so impactful to me, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, oh, they're so beautiful, such a beautiful person.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh, we weigh the same thing. Or
yes,
I weigh less than her. Are you serious?
Yes.
Like, I thought I was the biggest person ever. I thought that like every room I was in, I weighed more than those people.
Yeah.
And now I see like, you know, it's just, and so that's why I share my weight. And that's why I try to normalize, and people come in and say, I can't believe you weigh that much. You don't look like it. And I try to come back to say, well, that's exactly why I do it, because you don't know by looking at someone what they weigh.
Exactly.
And, every woman that is, doesn't weigh 130 pounds, I mean, it's just, and so I just, so, I just think that it's been the community piece of it, the support that I've had, from the doctor and my care team. And I found a new primary care doctor, who is very supportive and encouraging. And she's, specializes in obesity medicine too. And even though I'm still using my telehealth provider, I love all the services that they offer, that I have access to. But yeah, I mean, the community, the medication, the doctors, the awareness that it's not my fault. That was the first thing my doctor said to me when I met my first telehealth appointment. I was like,
great.
I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been doing this. And she says, this is not your fault. And I'd never heard that before. I never heard that before. It never even dawned on me that it wasn't, that I was a flawed human being.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I'm curious, like, in terms of the fact that you've struggled with this for a long time. And I know this is very like controversial, but it's something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to check my bias as I go through and I learn more. And like, I think it's important because I feel like many times, like through this journey, when I would see people that appeared thin, like to me, or based on like the standard, I would say like, what are they doing taking GLP-1 medications? Why are they taking them if they only have 5 pounds to lose, 10 pounds to lose, or something like that? And the truth is, one, they could have been diabetic, right? And just because you're diabetic does not mean that you're obese, like that, it doesn't mean that. And two, what the heck am I doing saying that kind of stuff? Like even thinking that kind of stuff. And I keep thinking, when I think about the regrets so far, like, cause I mean, I do think about those things. I really try not to regret, but I do. But I look back and I think, God, I wish I'd known about this in 2012, because in 2012 was when Victoza was out, and that was off label, but it was Saxenda, right? And it was a really good option. And I think to myself, well, how different my life would have been. And then that gets me thinking, what about all those other people that we have seen a trend that they're on a road of issues with weight, whether it's 10 pounds, 15 pounds, right? But they're back and forth. What's that doing to their body? Right. And what about preventative medicine? So like, I think about that a lot. Like, would I have taken this before I got into this weight? And the answer is hell yes. Right. And that's what it is for me, but it's because I've been able to experience this. But like, I'm just really wondering, and like, you can be totally honest. And if you're uncomfortable, I'll take it out. That's why God made editors.
Okay.
But, how do you feel about proactive medication? Like if you had these 15, 20 pounds that plagued you forever, like, you wouldn't be where you are now? Like, do you think you would have done something different?
Absolutely. Yes. And I don't judge anyone for the decisions they make about their body. And, and so, I mean, I really don't. And I know there's all the controversy about people taking it that aren't type 2, don't have type 2 diabetes, like specifically with Mounjaro. And, take it. If you can get it, take it. Yeah. Because if it prevents you from becoming diabetic like me, then awesome. And, and so, I just really, I have a friend that is taking it in a compounded version of the, Semaglutide. And, and she maybe wants to lose 20 pounds and, and she's so beautiful and I don't think she needs to, but that's what she wants to do. Yeah. And so I go do it. I really, I understand where people are coming from. I see both sides of it, but I just think we have to be really careful about, you don't know people, you don't know what they struggle with. And especially like everyone that has binge eating disorder is also not overweight. No. And even lots of disordered eating that these medications help with.
Yeah. Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
even like Kat has said, like she's always been really into activity and fitness, but she's like, you would be surprised that in this whole like very healthy, what appears world, how much disordered eating goes on. But they all look thin and
So
healthy. But
much.
like, what's going on in here? You can't see food noise. You
That's
can't see
right.
it. So I think we have to get to a place where we know more and we do better. And so we're going to try to focus on some proactive messaging this season and see how that goes.
That's awesome. That's
I'm sure
awesome.
we'll get lots of comments.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, before I move forward and invite on our clinical guest, we would love for one for you to stay, and two, I want to make sure that you've said everything that you want to say. And of course, you can still talk whenever you want to, but I just want to make sure
Yeah.
because I feel like traditional media, they're always like cutting us off and and hiding our bellies and all of these different things because it doesn't fit their narrative or their story or their agenda. And I just want to make sure that our community members have the space to say everything they need to say. Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size Podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus-sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus-sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you have this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise." That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Oh, thank you. There are two things. And the first is really that it is never, ever, ever too late to advocate for yourself. And it doesn't matter what weight you are, where you are, you can find a doctor that will help you. And you have to advocate for yourself because this is not your fault. And there are reasons likely that you're struggling with your weight. And there's a lot of medication that can help you. And there's nothing to be ashamed of for that. And then the other thing, and it's gonna sound probably I don't know how it'll sound, but learning to love yourself, no matter what size you are, is something that I am really trying to do. And I know that, yes, I talk about losing weight and I went so far as to have plastic surgery, but that is a lifelong thing that I've struggled with in learning to love myself. And what I look like, my worth was connected to those from a small child. And that's just the way I was raised. And so that's what I grew up with, and I'm almost 50 years old. And so, you know, that is something that I grew up with, but I wish that I had learned so much earlier how to love myself as I am.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I really would hope for others, is that you can learn to accept yourself and love yourself as you are. And you can also still want to lose weight. You can also still want to work on your health and your overall wellness, because those things help you in being a better person, whether you're a mom or, you know, you're a partner or a coworker, a daughter, you know, whatever it is. Taking care of yourself helps you to be better in all those ways. And just because you want to lose weight and look different doesn't mean you can't love yourself as you are and accept yourself as you are.
Totally. Yeah. Dr. Joy was on our show and she was saying that she celebrates
I thought of her
whatever
immediately
size she's
too.
ever been in. Yeah. Whatever size she's ever been. And, you know, she does the book club with Brenda and everything. It was such a good episode.
I know. I'm missing book club because we're recording this.
Sorry. Oh no. They'll understand. They'll understand. But I love that she was like, I'll always celebrate because this is just like a vessel. Like I'm trying to take better care of the vessel, but like, it's not who I am, you know? And I was like, man, she dropped some bombs. I'm just like,
that's big.
When she says things, I'm like, oh my gosh, Dr. Joy is so smart. I'm so glad we had you on the show, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's so true. Like, I do think there was a point where I had given up on the health stuff but I remember liking who I was, but there was always this thing where I couldn't control my food. And so I did think I was pathetic, but I always had, I mean, I don't now, but I did, you know, and I hate that I thought that about myself. I really do. But it's just nice to have the noise out of the way and like be able to like kind of live my full potential, if that makes sense. Because now I'm like, I always loved myself, but now it's like even better, even deeper, even more intimate, if that makes sense. And that's been really powerful. And one of the plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our doctors who has not yet been on the show. And she is now. I'm so excited. So if you guys don't know, without further ado, let me announce. Dr. Angelina, how are you?
Nice to see everybody.
Welcome to the plus sides. We're so glad to have you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, you look fabulous as usual. Good God.
So strike the pose.
I know. Like your doctor wants to be a supermodel. This is the one. This is the one. And she's nice. Like I'm just saying. Love it. I love it. Well, hey, we're so glad to have you. So obviously we know you because we hang with you a lot. We hang with you on lives and we do videos, and I do videos just for you to ask you questions. So we're super glad to have you here. I think this is a super good episode because I know you mentioned about your practice and how it got started and like how you came on board and like how all of that works. But people who don't know you, if you could tell us a little bit about who you are and how you help people, I think that would help us get started.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course.
The discussion that's happening already. Hi, I'm Dr. Angelina. So me and my husband moved to Georgia about 12 years ago. He's a bariatric surgeon as well. And we started private practice. So idea was we got away from the large institution in Cleveland and moved to kind of like boonies, right? Far away from the city. And we started first building our practice and our surgical centers in order to provide best healthcare to people outside of large cities. Because in a city, you got big hospitals, easy to get whatever you need. Once you step out like that 30 miles outside, you never know what you're going to get. So that's how it started. And then from there, we just progressed into bariatric surgery center. And we had a lot of patients. I had to do a lot of education because me and Susan had a little chat earlier. And I was like, why is it that 60% of population are not being referred to us for this problem, at least for discussion? We're not going to count on you in the first visit. Can we have a discussion? Because nobody brings it up on appointments. So that was our big deal, educating people about bariatrics. And of course, from there, we branched off into plastic and cosmetic surgery. And now we're like one-stop shop. We do everything. We have 4 centers. We're growing. So we help a lot of people who don't have insurance, people who don't have, coverage for bariatric surgery or weight loss surgery, because that's very common. So we try to bring the prices down as low as we can. So for self-pay patients, we're the most transparent center. We're one of the first surgery centers in the country to post our prices online, like all inclusive. This is
That's
the price.
awesome.
Wow.
So that's kind of our
impressive.
style of operating. And now that TikTok is here and we can talk about this stuff. I mean, hopefully not get censored by TikTok, but
we don't get
Yeah.
censored here.
the more we talk about,
We will have a
talk
special with you. You can say all
Yes.
the things.
He has a disease, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm happy. So that's like my main goal in life, because people still don't know. They don't know their options.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Great. Okay. Well, did you say you're in Georgia?
Yes, Kat, I'm very upset. I did not got invited for dancing over the weekend.
Oh my gosh. I'm so- yeah.
I
You know what? Next
dancing
time, you want to go dance with
today.
us?
Oh, I feel like Dr. Angelina would be a really good time. Y'all should totally hang out. and
Yes.
dance.
Let's go dancing.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
Right now, my whole body hurts.
Nobody wants to hang out. Doctors are-
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, right. Yeah, rain check. We're gonna hang. We're gonna hang.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. We've had bariatric surgeons chat with us before, and on how, in so many ways, that GLP-1s similarly work in the body in comparison to bariatric surgery. Can you explain for our audience, as a refresher, how that happens, and also for our new listeners as well?
Sure. So GLP-1 hormone is actually a natural hormone, one of the incretins, one of the hormones that we have in our body. And the way they discovered it is actually because of bariatric surgery, right? I don't know if you guys heard that story. I'm sure you have. When, bariatric surgery been around for over 40 years, and then they originally thought the reason we lose weight was because of restriction of the stomach, we make stomach smaller, or, malpositioning of intestines, so malabsorption. And later on, they realized, oh, wait, for some reason, this group of patients have really high levels of GLP-1 in their blood, right? So why is that happening? So once they start studying it, also, why do those patient populations lose their diabetes, right? Because bariatric surgery, especially bypass, can trigger diabetes treatment, right? Like a lot of people go in remission. So why did it happen? Because of that natural increase of GLP-1 in your body. And so for the first 6, 12, 18 months, everybody's a little different. Our natural GLP goes up and gives you similar feeling as if you were taking that GLP-1 supplement that we're all taking now, right? I call it GLP-1 supplement.
Yeah.
Like that we have. So, and then at some point it will come back down. Your body likes to level things out. Our body likes to always find that homeostasis. So eventually it wears off, and that's a lot of times when you start seeing weight gain or struggling to control the appetite, or all of those things you guys were talking about. Afterwards, like, well, I can sneak more food because those thoughts came back. They might have been not there in the beginning, but then they come back because your natural GLP-1 kind of went back to where it used to be. And so now you need to get your GLP-1 from outside to control the disease. So
Yeah, that's
Wow.
fascinating.
Okay.
Do you,
Does
in
it
your
cover that?
experience?
more detail.
Yeah. No, we may ask for more. Yeah, but I can dig in a little bit more. So in terms of like going back to like those feelings, right? Like, so a lot of people in our community, we call it food noise. And like, for me, I can't even believe how loud it was. Like it wasn't just food noise. It was just loud, constant, everything. It was, just ingest, right? And I did not have the ability to like gear shift. You know what I mean? Like, oh, do I really want that? Do I not? And now I do, and that's what it's kind of given me. But I never was without it even after surgery. Now, I had lap bands. It was a little bit different, right? It was a lot different. But it did at some point escalate, I guess. And like, I feel like it just never stopped, and it just got worse and worse. But like, in your experience, do people who have bariatric surgery, did they have food noise before, and do they still have food noise? Like, is that even controlled? Like, or does it go away, like you said, for like a long while and then come back? Like, or, I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like everybody's different, but you tell me.
Everybody is a little bit different. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a medical condition, it's a disease, and everybody will have different levels of it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of bariatric patients when they first start, and you know, they say like you have to have like mental preparation for it, because a lot of people are almost afraid to give up food. Like, I love food. I mean, we all love food. Is, like we said, it's part of our social structure. So, and they're like, well, I love food. I don't want to have surgery. Like, I know I need it. I need to lose weight, but I'm afraid to give up food because that's my link to the emotional state, right? And usually once they have surgery, they realize that that feeling is not there anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if I mentally can prepare myself to not eat this large plate of whatever.
Totally.
Let's say somebody who does overeat. And then when they do have surgery, they're like, oh, I really don't feel like eating that plate anymore, because the GLP-1 kicks in for the beginning for a while, you know? So I feel like a lot of people, it does make a difference. And they did have food noise before. Obviously, a lot of people didn't know how to describe it in the past. This a newer terminology. We never heard food noise before. Because I think now enough people realize that or have it, so we came up with the name, right?
Totally.
It's kind of, you're sick, but you don't know you were sick until it's treated, and you're like,
yes, it's just like that.
I had similar experience when I was younger with the birth control pills. I had very strong iron based birth control pill to control menorrhagia. And I was like 18. I didn't know any better. Just give me a pill, I take a pill. For first 3 years of college, I was sick. I did not know it. I basically was like pregnancy feeling. I was nauseous 24/7. Bottle of Pepsi every morning, just feel the nausea. And then one day somebody switched, like, why are you on this? Let's switch you to some like low iron, whatever estrogen thing. And I was like, I woke up and I'm like, I'm not like, I did not know I was sick for 3 years. And then I assume with food noise, it's very similar.
Very
like,
similar.
You had it, and then it's gone, and you wake up and it's like quiet in your head, and you're just like, what's happening? I have all this.
It's so weird.
I up with other things now.
I do feel like that's the thing that in our community we like talking about the most. When anybody's like, what's food noise? I'm like, let me just tell you, you know, and it like, we all get so excited to share it because it's just like that. It's like, you're like, this is what normal people feel like. What could I do now that it's so quiet?
Like, you can come up with like plans to take over the world.
Yes, clearly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me think of so what I feel like maybe my experience, I've always felt like I'm a little bit of an outsider on this because I still have an appetite. And I guess once in a while I will have, I don't know, could it be food noise, but I hit a wall. And I always chalk it up to maybe fitness because I do like to work out. I like to take my spin classes. I'm starting to work with a trainer now. Do you have patients that are like very active or were active before they had it and they just have a different like level of appetite or a little bit of still the craving still kind of come back, but they hit walls? Does that happen?
With medication?
Yes.
Yeah, we have all kinds of patients who have appetite. Because remember, I never call this medicine appetite suppressor. It's not like that. It makes you feel full. So being hungry, having an appetite is great because actually it helps most people, right? Because most people have.
I still feel a little bit outsiderish, like a little weirdo. Like everybody has less food aversion, but I really don't.
Now versus before the medications, before all the other stuff. If you're hungry and you eat now, how much do you eat now versus how much you used to eat?
Oh, I used to be able to damage.
Right.
I can feel it. Great, perspective.
You know what I mean? So because it's okay to be hungry. I'm happy that you're hungry. I think people who, you know, on this medication, they go through, they forget to eat. That's also not good because then we go into the starvation mode. You know, one day of 23-hour, 24-hour fast is great. You know, I talk about intermittent fasting all the time. But we need to eat. We need to have our nutrition. We have to have our calories. And when you start feeling that hunger because you forgot, like you didn't eat all day and now you're hungry, that's great. Congratulations, you're healthy. Eat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Wow.
You're the normal one here.
Yeah, right.
It's truly, because like I said, it does help. I hit that wall. I'm like, oh, I'm done. So
yeah, you feel
good.
you'll feel the fullness. So your body now has the proper regulation because, normally we have dysregulated processes that don't tell us when to stop eating or keep telling us you're still hungry or keep, all of these functions that we're not firing correctly. Now they're regulated. So your body tells you when you're hungry and then your body tells you when you're full. And
great. No fixations, no obsessing. So that's,
And if you listen to your body, you know when to stop eating. This is perfect because if you overdo it, you're going to regret it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, good. Great. Okay. Well, I do have another question as well. Well, another question on top of that question. We've chatted with a lot of members of the community, and they've experienced a regain after bariatric surgery. Could you share with us, what are the things that do contribute to that, and also transfer addiction? Why does that occur, and how can patients prevent that? And then also in your practice, do you provide like prevention services or resources to kind of prevent that transfer addiction?
Well, I think we covered some of that. In the past, it was we always said 80% of patients will regain weight after bariatric surgery. Depends on type of surgery. They might have different outcomes. We always try to keep one surgery on the back burner in our practice to plan ahead. So if we did gastric sleeve, 10 years later, we have option to do bypass or some kind of knee bypass or duodenal switch now. We can try to stage it because we always said it's a chronic disease. And I know a lot of centers don't operate that way, but we'll look at it as a continuity. It's not one and done and you're gone. In my practice, I like my patients anytime. So I don't like my patients disappearing. I like them to stay with checkups. A lot of practices like we see 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, and you kind of like gone. We want regular treatments with lab band. I know you mentioned your lab band, Kim. It was proven not to work unless you do your 6 adjustments per year continuously, not just the first year, but like forever. The moment you stop adjusting it, it stops working. But I think part of it is also seeing a doctor and being consciously like on the checkup. So in my practice, we always want to see patients continuously. If you want to come to us like every few months just to check in and say hi, even if you're doing great, I prefer to do that because I feel like that's going to help us to monitor you. And before you fall off the train, before you gain that 5-10 pounds and not wait until it's, all of the weight back because you're feeling some kind of feelings, because those feelings shouldn't apply because it's not your fault. It's a progression of the disease. It's like diabetics with A1C, they've been seen every 3 months if they're uncontrolled. And if they A1C went up, it's not like doctor stands there like, oh, what did you do now? They might say, did you take medication? But, well, let's adjust the medication. Let's come up with a plan, how we're going to control it rather than
super good way to look at it.
Let's not go see doctor for a year and see if that's going to help me somehow. Even with GLP-1 medications right now, my patients all know, even if you try to slow it down or stop it, some people do try that. I'm like 5 pounds wrong direction. You better be here, to get restarted. We don't want that game. So I think continuity of care is very important because of nature of a chronicity of the disease. It's chronic.
Yeah, it sounds like you also kind of take the shame away. There's a lot of shame in it. And so it sounds like you're very open and you take the shame out.
It's more
reassuring. Yeah.
Absolutely. I said, I always try to compare it to other conditions. So take blood pressure medicine. How many people do we know that's 120 pounds and have most uncontrolled hypertension, especially in African American community, with kidney failure and dialysis?
Right.
Because their community, it doesn't take a lot of high blood pressure. They can be running 140 over 90 for a few months and they're going to kill the kidneys, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
like we're saying, by looking at somebody, you do not know what they need to take an underlying condition, right?
Yeah.
And you can have a 300 pound person who doesn't have any problem, no diabetes, no blood pressure, nothing, just a little fluff. Okay. But we definitely have to take away the guilt and shame and put it aside. I mentioned earlier to Susan, because I was like, I know your doctor was happy for you, but why was the doctor not talking to you about all of these options from the start? Doctors don't talk about it. So I will like walk around with the drama and be like, just talk about it. Just tell people about it. Surgery is not scary. It's not scary than gallbladder surgery.
Yeah.
Laparoscopic gastric sleeve, 35-minute surgery.
Yeah.
It's
35
fascinating.
Really?
Wow.
It's only
Hey,
35
Really?
minutes?
some doctors can do it. Yeah, in my practice. I mean,
Wow.
30,
Look,
let's say
I'm
now,
like, wow.
let's say, gastric sleeve is a very fast surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the belly, go in, snip, 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 done. It's not a long surgery. That's how we
Yeah.
can do them 10 a day. Like
Yeah.
literally. It's a quick surgery.
Mhm.
The thing that doctors think sometimes about is like the 40 years ago. Big
Yeah.
and sick, big, hospital stay. No, people go home the same day.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy.
So obviously there's exception to the rule based on medical
Right.
conditions
Sure.
and, BMI. But generally for people under, let's say BMI under 58 on average.
Yeah.
Otherwise, can tolerate outpatient surgery center, we can do it. So it shouldn't be guilt. And so I hate when people have patients who come in and we have family members, you taking easy way out.
Yeah.
No, it's surgery. It's not easy. For you, it's not
That's
easy.
their
For me,
support
it's not.
system. Yeah.
Hey guys, Dr. Angelina here with IBI Healthcare Institute and Surgical Arts. Today let's talk about BMI and why it's a whole bunch of BS. Number one, it was created for different purposes, absolutely not related to healthcare. It does not give us any indication of where you're storing your fat. So it does not give us indication of how much fat you have on you and fat distribution. It does not account for any race or sex differences. Because of the racial disparities in this calculation, we can either overestimate somebody's risk for the disease related to obesity and for some population completely underestimate it. A better measure would be hip to waist or waist to hip ratio that tells us the difference between where you carry fat and amount of actual belly fat or visceral fat that is the more dangerous part. Hope this helps.
When people come to see you and maybe they come saying they want something, like they say, I want a band, can it be removed? Or I want, sleeve, but maybe like a GLP-1 would work better for them to get them even to a place to be able to be more successful with surgery. Like, do you ever lead with GLP-1s and see how they respond? Is that what, I'm curious, if doctors have best practices yet,
We go by statistics. Okay. So we know statistically, GLP-1s can get us at highest 23% weight loss, right? If you do the thing like you try yourself, you lose 5% yourself, and then we give you medicine, you lose another 21%, you get to 26%. But with surgery, we can go 50% plus.
Yeah.
Right. Whoa. If we're looking at the body, well, generally gastric sleeve and bypass is 60%, right? There are variations based on what you're trying to do. So anyways, we can combine them. The whole point is we can definitely combine this.
Okay. That's cool. And do you combine it with people after they've had surgery? Is that something
right?
That help them get there further? Yeah.
Before and after, based on their progress.
Yeah, that's cool.
And now with the before and after, do you keep them on the same GLP-1 that they were on prior to surgery and then after the surgery, or do you try another GLP-1?
I mean, if they were doing fine, there's no reason to change it. Right now, a lot of it has to do with access. Obviously, I do compounded medicine. So we have that access. But if they're trying to go through insurance, sometimes it depends on that. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Have a choice. Right? Some people just don't have any other access. So
it changes constantly. So
if they're going through insurance and insurance tells them they have to do 6 months of therapy prior to having surgery approval, and have to do that monthly nutritional, all of that therapy per insurance requirement. Well, and they also want to see that they tried themselves and tried to lose weight themselves. Obviously that wouldn't be in the office if they didn't try that before.
Right.
We all know that. They pretend like they don't know that.
Yeah.
But we'll start them on GLP-1 medicine. So that's 6 months, they can already get started on weight loss. By the time they get to surgery, now if somebody has miraculous results and they lost that 100 plus pounds in that first 6 months or got close to it, we're like, well, I guess you don't need surgery anymore. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or other like endoscopic surgery, like endoscopic gastric sleeve or something like that. And because that can be done with BMI less than 35. And then let's say they do the surgery, in the beginning, they usually get the natural effect of GLP-1. So we don't need to get them started right away back on the medicine. We give them some time to fly on their own and see how are they progressing. And if they're not progressing fast enough, if they start to plateau out, or maybe they did really great for 2 years and then they start feeling the food noise again, then reintroduce medicine again.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I love the multi-prong approach though. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think there's like one way and only way. I think everybody's seems to be so different, you know? But yeah,
That's why
it makes so much
every
sense.
different, every combination is different.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely something that
yeah,
gonna vary from patient to patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, JT, I know you have a couple questions.
I do have a section that is flat, and then all of a sudden it protrudes out. And I know many people in the community are talking about apron bellies.
Totally.
How do apron bellies come about? She's like,
she's like, I get rid of them. That's my specialty.
But I mean, like, why do they even come about? And where many people carry the weight in that lower midsection,
or like just where you're carrying in general.
And then others may carry it in other ways, but then it's like, even with the weight loss, you still have the belly. So it's like, why? Like, why?
Sure. So there's different reasons. Obviously, how you carry your weight when you gained weight. Everybody carries it differently. So people who carry more in a midsection, which we usually see with weight gain, we see it after pregnancy, it tends to go there with hormonal changes as we get older. It tends to kind of go in that midsection. So we see it a lot of women after 40, even if they were not obese at any time, they're like, look, I mean, I used to gain, lose. And now, and it's only 10 pounds, but it's all sitting in that little pooch. Like we call it sometimes mama belly, because it's kind of like women who usually up in that age, who might have had kids already. As far as the flat section, then the overhang. So it depends how you wear your underwear, your pants. So sometimes I feel like some of those things we create ourselves, because if you always wear your certain type of clothes in the exact same way, your overhang starts really where the clothes is finished. So if you always wear like a very same style of your pants, so that overhang will go there.
Okay.
It would not happen to somebody who has no extra skin hanging in the first place. But if you always wore it kind of like bikini style, like a lower hip style, you put that skin together and then the rest starts to overhang from the top, kind of like bra roll. We created ourselves with our clothes that we wear every day.
Wow.
Obviously C-sections, hysterectomies, ovarian stuff, they do that, lower cut that then creates a ledge. So even if somebody is not overweight, haven't had bariatric surgery or weight loss, they just had kids maybe, or just had a little bit of extra, it tends to overhang over the scar, because scar is not physically letting tissue kind of cross over there. And so it starts to fold over that.
And it does cause a lot of issues, like
weight there versus some other places, because that's more genetic. Like why somebody has more central obesity, that's more dangerous, versus girls who have hips and booty and thin waist, right? Which is, again, if you have that fat distribution, good for you. You saved a lot of money on BBL.
I should have gotten one before I started a GLP-1.
I mean, get it now. Dr. Angelina lives here. Maybe she knows. I don't know.
I don't have any fat.
Oh, that's right. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't help you if you, it's a good thing you didn't do it, because you didn't waste your money. Because if you did it before and then you lost weight, the butt would go away too. So you just
true.
Nothing.
Fat cells.
Really?
Right? Still fat cells, right?
Yeah.
See, get it done now.
Fat cells.
I know, right? See, you learn something new every day.
I know people come up with this all the time, guys. I know it's not the type of conversation, but I've seen surgeons tell patients, oh, you don't have so much fat. Go gain 30 pounds. We'll liposuction you and we'll put that fat in your butt. And then I guess you go back to normal, which a lot of people get in trouble because they cannot go back to normal. Because if you gain that 30 pounds, it's very hard to lose, especially if you're over 40.
Yeah.
But the problem is, once a lot of people do lose weight back down, their butt goes away with it.
Yeah.
So they
oh my gosh. You wasted all that money.
It's useless.
Your jaw's on the
A
ground.
lot of surgery.
See, you're good.
Again, the underlying disorder is what's making you gain weight, right? So that's the underlying disorder. You know, some people have maybe adrenal gland issue and they have the cortisol problem, and maybe they have Cushing disorder that made them gain like central obesity weight. They get the hump, that stretch marky belly, and central obesity. You know, it could be just regular obesity, like not fancy type with any adrenal glands, just run-of-the-mill obesity, just like regular disease. But it's whatever it is, it's really increased weight. Obviously, women who have kids, you know, we get that huge stretch. You know, the bigger the kid, the bigger the belly. Got twins, got bigger pooch, right? And so if you were predisposed to carry your weight in your belly, you know, which often people who are extremely large, I guess is the way to put it. You know, somebody has like 400 or 500 pounds and they carry all of it in their belly. You know, we're not talking about like a little out patch. We're talking about like pannas say hanging down to their knees. That's obviously condition, like has to be surgically removed no matter what, to help them out with that.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be a mobility issue, right? So
yeah.
okay.
Back pain, mobility issues, fungusy stuff, ulcers,
Get infected and
irritated skin. You know,
irritated.
Women with big breasts, you know, some people can get it under the breast when it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, they have to like really take care of it, kind of like.
It's like a whole new thing. Like,
wow,
it really is. I mean, y'all, I'm pretty about this stuff. Like for sure, for me, especially like, and I, this is still not skin. This is fat and skin. Like I still have probably another, I would say at minimum 60 pounds to lose, but probably more like 100, you know, and I mean, it's okay. Like I'm on a journey and I'm getting there, you know, but yeah, I mean, and I actually thought to myself, because I'm smaller now than I was when I had surgery. And so I'm like, I think to myself often, like, I guess I probably will do it, because I always thought before, it's fine. Like I can wear Spanx and la la la. No, it's a thing now. Like it got a lot bigger and I got a lot smaller, and it's, you know, it's going to have to get done. So I will be making an appointment in like 8 months to 12 months.
Can adding any muscle underneath help any, I guess, reducing the need for it? But I imagine if you're 300 or 400 pounds, you have a significant weight loss. There's probably nothing you can do about it. But can adding muscle sometimes help with less saggy skin? Sometimes?
Some areas, arms and legs, I feel like if you have good muscle tone, then it's going to make the hang appear less. But on the belly,
I guess you can't really do anything about that. Yeah.
And just probably a month ago, I had a patient that lost a lot of weight, had a lot of hanging skin, but then she was working out. So when I lifted that skin up, and there's like a perfect 6-pack of muscle underneath, it's so beautiful. Yeah. But you couldn't see it because all that excess skin was hanging. The skin does not get worked out. You can shrink it, like as you just, you know, some people just shrink and the skin shrinks with you, but usually it's not enough to completely make it vanish if you truly have a lot of weight loss. It's just physically impossible.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's really good to know. You know, we've had such a good conversation tonight, and I know I don't want to take everybody's time too much more, but I would love to know something that we touched on with Susan. We were just at our conversation point. And she mentioned, you know, that there were like certain doctors that didn't necessarily care about a BMI before they did surgery. And then there's also people that will say things like, why are you getting it done now? Wait a year and see if you gain your weight back. Right. Because everybody assumes you will, because everybody does. Right. That this is different. So yes. So
not with Dr. Angelina.
She sees the day. So I'd love to know, like, kind of your perspective on that.
So I think in the past, that was the thing we used to say to bariatric surgery patients, because not necessarily because they tend to regain. Our hope was that they will lose and stay lost. They will lose. But it was more of malnutrition issue. We wanted to make sure that rapid weight loss did not cause vitamin deficiencies, protein deficiencies, and overall malnutrition. So we would want to make sure that they were optimized for large surgery like this. We're taking out large chunks of fat and skin, long incisions. You need all the help you can get. You have to be at your optimal health to heal those wounds. So we'll say wait up to 2 years, because that's how long it took to lose all of the weight with bariatric surgery. Usually for most people, it's a curve, then you plateau out, it's a, go down, plateau out. Up to 18 months, 24 months, people still lose weight. So usually we'll say wait that long because we want to make sure like you're done losing weight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With GLP-1s, to me, it kind of all goes out of the window because I know I can support you with GLP-1 medicine now, so you don't regain the weight.
Yeah.
And as far as the BMI requirements, you have to be careful. There are two groups of surgeons. The ones like Susan mentioned, nice. Are you happy? I always say, what's your happy weight? I don't ask what's your goal weight. I mean, depends what you're talking about. But plastic surgery, I say, are you at your happy place? Are you at your happy weight? And a little 10, 20 pounds. Okay, fine. Tummy tuck, fine. You lose 20 pounds after tummy tuck, you're going to look better. So that's fine if you lose that additional 10 pounds, Susan.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes in and they have not even had the bariatric journey, they're, BMI 40 plus, and they find us do that surgery without ever having conversation about underlying issue, that patient will just waste their money. They will not be happy with the result because if you have all that visceral fat, there's no way they're going to get tightening of the muscle, right? Because all the fat is sitting inside. Yes, you're going to the panis and you're going to look kind of still like a little bowl. And because nothing was changed in your underlying food noise, you're going to regain all that weight. It might go in a different place. It might go in a more dangerous place. Maybe it was sitting outside, now it's going inside.
Ooh,
so
okay.
You also have to be careful what surgeon says. So yes, as long as, overall, because your BMI is basically normal, Susan, right? So that's why he was like, I don't care. If he sees everything's good, we can cut it off. It's going to look pretty. Like I can imagine in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. But if I'm looking at him like, even if your BMI is 29, but I feel like it needs to be maybe 22 for surgery. I mean, it's an extreme example. Yeah. Because how you carry your weight.
Yeah.
I might tell you to wait longer. And I have ladies that come in BMI 35. I'm like, well, let's do it because most of it is in your hips and your thighs and your boobs. Your belly does not carry that much. I can snatch you in right now. So you really truly
snatch it right,
right
now. Yeah, snatch it right now.
You have to really look at the individual person and see. But if they are over 35, because my limit is 35, but doesn't mean if you're 34.5 right now, you're going to come in and I'll be like, nope, not going to happen. But the thing with I still see everybody because I can get you bariatric surgery. I can get you GLP-1s. So I'll get you there.
Yeah.
In the most efficient way without you doing a surgery. Then like, oh, now I lost 100 pounds. Oh, wait, now I'm not happy with how it looks. Let's redo the surgery again. And I've seen that.
Yeah.
People spending money 2-3 times because they did it in the wrong order.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't even think about it that way.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Because there are doctors who truly don't care about the weight. Not in a nice way, but like, sure, I'll take your money. And
yeah. That's interesting. Nice. Very cool. Awesome. Well, this has been a lovely conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being so vulnerable, Susan, and sharing your story. I'm telling you, I get a message every episode of somebody that says, that sounds like me. I'm going to go see my doctor. So I know they're going to hear that. And hopefully they're not thinking like we are, right? Like we're pathetic or whatever word you use. Like that's what mine was, that we gained our way back. Like, because it's biology, right?
Yes,
like
it's right.
It's totally biology, guys. It's totally biology. And as far as people saying something about your surgery, it's none of their business, honestly.
That's right.
With your doctor, and
it is none of their business.
Whoever pays the bill.
Yeah. Totally.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. Well, this has been so great. We're going to close out the show, but I wanted to make sure that everybody was able to tell you thank you. And okay. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Angelina, and helping us. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you.
Oh, that was so nice. Yeah. Speaking of volunteers that, volunteer. See this right here? This right is here. The Mounjaro Stanley. It looks like the Mounjaro injection. We all had 10 because we thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you even got the disclaimer and all the things and the little, it's fancy. See this right here? You can go get one and get $10 off with a coupon code. And part of the sale goes for the plus side. So you could support the podcast by getting a really cool mug. Doesn't have to say plus sides on it. Yes. We're trying to give you options, y'all.
This sucker worked in the 90-degree heat at House in the Park all day.
Water.
The ice stayed on here. I just kept filling up with water.
Yep.
In between my sips of my wine spritzers.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You stayed semi-hydrated at least.
Really
That's
did.
good.
I have to stay hydrated.
Balance.
I mean, I would say like, what are the non-scale victories this week? But I feel like Kat's is that you're still here and you were able to do work and, record the plus sides tonight. But
what? Oh, because
an assumption. Because of all your dancing. Although it sounds like you and Dr. Angelina are going to be buddies.
We are. We're going to go
and
dancing.
go dancing together. Yeah.
We're house in the park. Woo. Woo.
Love it. Janine always picks up what you're putting down when it comes to anything pop culture or music. She's like, yep.
Yeah.
Right on it.
We're in the same thing. We're just in the same, yeah.
Yeah. And I normally go to House in the Park.
Yeah.
But you were in Europe, right? But you were.
She was in Europe.
But
Fancy schmancy.
I was trekking in Europe, so
I think I might be getting Mounjaro, but y'all, I don't know what the deal is lately. I just don't think I have.
I told you all, and people laughed at me.
Y'all see me wiggling around tonight? I'm like, I even got a new chair, and it's like, I'm still
this
like
chair. I don't know.
I have to give me a pillow like Janine's. I need a pillow that says plus sides though. Like, I have standards.
Listen,
I
this
have an MJ pillow that says
this
plus
thing
sides.
is a lifesaver. People laughed at me, but I think I'm going to make a video about my pillow because
I think you need
it's a game changer.
I think it's
I'm
cute.
going to use it too. I think it's going to.
I'm telling you,
help
I see.
Put your hips in position.
I'm
Yes.
super curious about it. I do need to go to the chiropractor. It could easily be that. I haven't gone in a while, and I'm very much a chiropractor person.
Overdue.
Not for GLP-1s. I'm sorry, chiropractors. I love you, but do not prescribe GLP-1s. Don't do it.
Well,
don't you do it. Don't
look, don't you do that.
Don't you do that. I love my chiropractors. I'm telling you, they're awesome.
Too.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Don't
We still have plus size merchandise. Yeah, we do.
That's right. We still have the merch
This one's
store.
still cold too.
If you're a big fan, you can go and get some merch of all the plus size thing, and that
The easiest
is on the website.
The best thing, it might be kind of lazy, but while I'm at work,
yeah,
I don't have to get up as often because both of these
because you fill them both
Look
up.
at you, double fist,
and they're both good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I like how you got the one that's like the sports top, and the one that's a straw.
Double fist.
Yeah, this one goes to the gym. Because
that's the gym one.
Yeah,
totally.
right here.
Yeah, because the handle. Yeah, that's nice, especially with your spin class and all. That's good.
But we're also giving options. Believe it or not, like the holidays are right around the corner.
That's right.
I mean, seriously. It's this is the time that you start picking up your gifts because who wants to wait and totally. I know people do, but wait until like Thanksgiving or after. That's stressful.
No, it is. It's so stressful. Yeah. Although I will say that I do that.
My excuse is always like, we get it it's for kids, like adults.
Yeah.
You'll be lucky if you get a present. I only get it for the children. That's it.
Only the
that
children.
Helps. Only the kids.
It's a hit for the children. I love it.
And I'll be here with a bottle of wine at your doorstep for something else if that's what you want.
Right. Fair. I get that. Yeah. Awesome. Well, but in all seriousness, Kat, did you have an NSV or a sign up for today or a new quote?
I think I did. Yeah, I got a quote. I found a quote.
All right, you want me to come back to you, or like
I
you
have
you're
it.
Googling?
It's right here. No,
okay.
I put it on my phone to have it ready.
Okay.
I think this applies to all of us in this journey that we're going through. It is a Prince quote because Prince, and it's simple. Sometimes it takes years for a person to become an overnight success, and it's just remind yourself. Sometimes it does take years. People might think, maybe it's if it's fast for some people, it's slow for you. But sometimes it takes years. And if you studied his career, he was dang near record deal for 10 years before Purple Rain blew up. So
oh really? Wow.
Not 10 years. 78. His first record. Yeah, 78 to 84 or 83. It was so
wow.
It's a grind.
See?
So
just
give it time.
I mean, it's just part of it. It's like what JT says is perfect timing. JT, what's your quote?
Yeah.
It's,
okay.
What?
Yes. It's a marathon and not a sprint.
That's right.
It is.
I need to be better about finding something because I ain't got nothing.
But I actually found a quote from one of my favorite authors, and who is an American gem, Alice Walker, the author of The Color Purple.
Oh.
And she says, no person is your friend who demands your silence or denies your right to grow.
Oh,
There
I
you
love
go.
that. Yeah, that's a big deal. I feel like friends on this journey is a thing. Like the ones you make.
Friends or family,
ones,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like, and
Yeah.
friends being, what do they say about friends being in your life for a reason or a season or
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
It's
There's a
true.
really good quote
Mhm.
around that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is true. Yeah. The friendship thing changes, relationships change. Like it is a
Yeah.
complete evolution. It really is, of like who you are as you go through this kind of thing. It's totally like the mind piece and the therapy piece is just as important as the physical stuff. Like it really
Very.
is a marathon, not a
And
sprint.
not a sprint.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you what I tell you all the time, and that's because it worked for me. And my friend Rachel said this to me when I was for sure in desperation and loneliness and all the things. And I've had many people send me messages that have said that they love hearing this at the end, which made me feel really good because it helps me too.
Aw.
And that is, you're not alone. Clearly, it is not your fault. Clearly, right?
Yeah.
So there's just not. And now it's time to heal, and we're going to do it together. So we're so glad that you came and joined us this week, and we will see you next week too. We've got lots of cool episodes planned for season 2. We will have an underlying theme in general of all of them of what if we didn't ever have to get here? What if our children don't have to get here? What if our nieces and our nephews don't ever have to get here? You know, how do we do that? What does it look like going forward? You know, because there's so much promise. So we're going to talk about that a lot, and we're going to try to check our bias at the door and learn together and grow together. Back to
Yes,
JT's
indeed.
example. Yeah. All right. Thanks for not making us be quiet, because we're not gonna. And we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
We appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Hasta la
everyone.
pasta.
Hasta la pasta. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again, and the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plus-sides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plus-sides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details. Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on The Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to The Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.